What do you mean the bank is out of money?
Insolvent? You only have enough cash for the next 3 customers!
Hey, what's and it's gone.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. An extinction level event is upon us, according to Wall Street. The first massive bank collapse this century, ladies and gentlemen, is happening. Silicon Valley Bank seized by federal regulators after run on bank. You haven't seen headlines like this since the 1920s. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a man who warned that Joe Biden would bring about a stock market crash like we have never seen before. SVB, Silicon Valley Bank is what this stands for, previously announced that it was looking to raise more than $2 billion in capital after experiencing a $1.8 billion loss on assets. On Friday, federal bank regulators seized Silicon Valley Bank, a major banking institution, venture-backed company, in the most notable bank failure since the 2008 recession. The press release posted on Friday, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation said that the California Department of Federal Protection and Innovative Services has closed the bank. Whoa. According to the Wall Street Journal, the closure came following a run on deposits last week. The FDIC said the insured depositors will have full access to their insured deposits no later than Monday morning. Yikes. You never seen anything like this. This is bad.
The 16th largest U.S. bank collapsed today and took a nervous stock market with it. Silicon Valley Bank, once a darling of the investment crowd and a favorite for venture capital investors, becoming the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history and the first since the financial meltdown 15 years ago. The problem eerily reminiscent of the run on deposits that doomed so many financial institutions back then. But regulators were quick to add, far from the case now, or at least today. California state regulators wasting little time to take quick possession of Silicon Valley earlier today before a sudden cash crisis at the bank risked becoming an even bigger one. Then just as quickly reassuring investors their money was safe. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation taking control of Silicon Valley Bank's deposits and letting customers know they would have access to their funds by Monday morning.
Okay, so the government's just taking control of banks after a bank run, after a bank goes dry. And they're not the only ones, ladies and gentlemen. They're not the only ones. Wells Fargo customers report missing direct deposits amid technical issue same day. Supposed glitch comes the same day that Silicon Valley Bank was closed and seized. Friday morning, Wells Fargo customers reported missing deposits in their accounts. According to ABC8, Wells Fargo said in a statement that the company was aware of some customers not having their money. What the hell is going on? Users report indicate Wells Fargo is having problems. They cannot see their money in their accounts. So apparently, Wells Fargo app customers are told if you see incorrect balances or missing transactions, this may be due to a technical issue. Not good when you're looking at your bank account and you don't see any money there. Also not good when you're looking at your White House and you see idiots like this who are not concerned about bank failures and bank runs.
It is the 19th largest bank in the U.S. It went down in about 40 hours. What do you say to Americans who have real concerns today about their hard-earned savings and money?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why we have the FDIC and other safeguards in place in our banking system. And what I would say to them is that our Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary Yellen, the bank regulators, those who provide the guardrails and are safeguarding are closely watching and are prepared to use the tools that they need.
Okay, so that velociraptor-looking lady does not inspire any confidence. The bank collapse will have major impact on the tech industry, fears over mass layoffs, paycheck delays, thousands of employees at companies that do not bank with Silicon Valley Bank but use their payroll providers. Federal Direct Deposit Insurance seized the assets. The $200 billion bank collapse, the largest since 2008 recession, could decimate the tech sector. Many startups use Silicon Valley Bank as their sole account. Investors are only insured up to $250,000, as well as tech firms. Many Silicon Valley workers use the bank as their personal cash flow for their mortgages. Yo! It's going to be bad. It's going to be biblical. It's going to be an extinction level event. And who caused it? Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer here bitching about SVB at $35 now, when Jim Cramer just a couple months ago was saying that it was still cheap to buy it at $320. Yeah, don't worry, we got the clip.
I think the fears were not justified, and it's a very compelling situation. Hey, by the way, long-term private equity and venture capital, they're not going away. Being the banker to these immense pools of capital has always been a very good business. Stock's still cheap.
Stock's cheap. It's at $35 now. Jim Cramer, the kiss of death. Also, the kiss of death, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion commitment. Here from the bank's website, now defunct, but saying that they are committed to a diverse and equitable and inclusive world. No one wanted you to be inclusive or equitable. We wanted you to keep our money in the bank. People like Bill Ackman now demanding federal bailouts. Jack Posobiec saying, no bailouts for you. Go woke, stay broke. Yeah, no bailouts for you and this garbage. In honor of June 16th, we're extending our 2-1 donation matching program to support social equity and racial justice causes. ACLU, civil rights, honestly, you get what you deserve. This bank was woke as hell, and they do not get a bailout now. This is taking the crypto market with it. The second largest stablecoin with $43 billion in market capitalization held an undisclosed part of its $9.8 billion in cash reserved at the failed bank. Will they get that cash back? No, they won't. It will be bad. Very, very bad. David Sachs, friend of the show, investor, very rich man, very smart Silicon Valley guy, saying, where's Jerome Powell, head of the Fed? Where's Janet Yellen, head of the Treasury? Stop the crisis now. Announce that all deposits will be safe. Place SBV with one of the top 4 banks. Do this before Monday, or there will be contagion that will spread this crisis. You are starting to see the crisis already spread. Check out the stock market today.
Levels become somewhat interesting. We're back to like January 6th, last levels last seen in the S&P, first week of the year. But the December lows become really pretty important. They're more like 3,800. It's the lower end of the range we've been in for months. In the first part of a calendar year, you don't want to breach the December lows. It's an old trading rule of thumb. So that's, I think, the way to frame out what we're looking at here going into next week. The other piece of it, everything happening in terms of bank runs, in terms of not making payroll, in terms of people taking haircuts on what they have in the bank. It's disinflationary, if nothing else. So we'll have to see how that plays through.
Yeah, it's certainly going to have an impact.
So an absolute slaughterhouse inside of the stock market today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dow fell a point. S&P sheds 1.5 points. NASDAQ nearly 2 points. That's heavily based on tech stock. If only there was someone who had told us that Joe Biden would deliver the next Great Depression. If only there was a man, they didn't like his skin color, so they sent him away. But this man, the Nostradamus of our time, telling us, hey, Joe Biden's going to deliver to you the next stock market crash.
This incredible job that we've done will go down like that. It will be a terrible, terrible sight. It might even be a 1929 situation, so you have a chance to have the greatest numbers in history. You're almost there. We're almost back to where we were from the standpoint of the stock market. Think of that. But you'll have a crash like you've never seen before. You put the wrong person in office, you'll see things that you would not have believed are possible.
Yep, Donald Trump knew, ladies and gentlemen. He knew. And now the CEOs and little tech geeks of Silicon Valley are having a seizure. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy, Gary Tan, he is a Silicon Valley CEO. He's saying that the government needs to bail out this bank immediately. Of course, we say no. But he goes on to explain why. He's saying that the startups use this bank to run their payroll. They won't be able to pay their people. From what I hear, the venture department is going to have a lot of mass shutdowns next week because of this bank. This is an extinction level event for startups. It'll get much worse and set innovation back 10 years or more. Big tech will not care about this. They have cash elsewhere. Little startups will get destroyed. and then saying that 30% of the companies exposed to this can't make payroll in the next 30 days, begging for a bailout. I say no bailout. Go woke, go broke. You people got fat and you got rich off of the free money. You used it on stupid initiatives like DEI and social justice, and y'all can suck it now. We need you to be financial institutions. We need you to be stable. We don't need you to be woke. Nobody hired you to be political. So enough of that garbage, and maybe this is the shock to the system that we need. But right now, the stock market's a slaughterhouse. Is this the market crash, the extinction level bet? Will this cause a contagion that will collapse America and set us back 100 years in our financial system? We'll see. We'll see. That's what an orange man once promised. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep fighting for America here on this channel. My name is Benny Johnson. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. Their tears, they taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.